Outdoors Bound this morning, where our own George Noleff is getting the rare opportunity to fish in a high-profile, prestigious fishing tournament.
That's right. He is a participant in this Bass Pro National Team Championship, where he's providing all the accounts of what it's like for anglers on the tournament trail.
He joins us now over the phone this morning to give us a breakdown of those experiences. Good morning to you, George. Are you prepared for the big day?
Good morning, Hazel Marie. Good morning, Amanda. I do not know if I'm prepared. I hope I am. This is something I've not done much of, and fortunately, the guy I'm fishing with, Andy Benedictus, has done quite a bit of this. So I'm just going to follow his lead, and we'll go from there. I think we'll do pretty good. We're trying to establish a program to get on some of these big walleye up here at Lake Oahe, South Dakota, and we got to hopefully put some in the boat today. Speaking of big walleye, two guys that we are at the same lodge with us, Landon Stender and Nate Stender, were fishing yesterday. We happened to come upon them. I think we have some video of this, of a huge walleye they caught in pre-fishing. And we were coming up on them, and they boated this fish. It weighed almost 10 pounds. Now, that's a big, big walleye for this lake. And, you know, if you can keep two that size. You can keep two over 20 inches. You get one of those, it's probably going to make your day. Probably going to give you a bag that's going to, have you finishing the money. So hopefully we'll get something like that today. I'm optimistic. We'll let you know how we do a little bit later on. We leave at 7 a.m. this morning, 8 a.m. your time. We're back at the dock at 2 p.m., 3 p.m. your time. You can watch it on our Facebook page. We're going to stream the launch and the weigh-in, I believe. So, if you want to follow along, also check out my blog, my diary on the Outdoors Bound page of WFXRTV.com.
All right, George, I know the question on many minds is what are you going to do with all those fish? Are you going to bring them back and cook them for us? Because that's what we want. We want the fish to eat.
The whole thing about these fish, you could keep them, and I could bring them back. However, they donate them to charities that feed people with these fish. And you've got 250 boats in this thing. If they all bring in eight fish, I believe is what you can keep. That's feeding a lot of people, and that's a really cool thing.
Now, I do have to ask George, I know you've talked about it over the week, but how do you win again?
All right. You have a 5-fish bag, 5 fish that you bring in. They weigh them. Now, in South Dakota, you can only keep one walleye per angler over 20 inches. So Dan and I could bring in 2 walleye over 20 inches. Those are going to be your heavy fish. Your big fish, we call those overs. And then unders are fish 16 inches up to 19 and, to the decimal point before 20. You can keep those too. So you've got 3 of those. Those all add up. So you've got your 5-fish weight limit. You check that, and hopefully your 5 fish are better than somebody else's 5 fish.
Got it. And is that in terms of the length or the weight, or is that all together? The weight. Okay.
Yeah, the weight. Yeah, it's by weight.
Okay, you got to catch a really big old fish.
A big old fish. That's right.
Well, thank you so much, George. And it sounds like, it's fishing. It's not only fun, but it's also for a good cause.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So good luck, George.
Thank you.
Now, if you would like to stay up to date with George's fishing adventures, you can check out the Outdoors Bound segment on the website, WFXRTV.com. That's where George will keep us updated with a diary of his experiences.